clouds and your storms. You breathe in the breath of God in your lungs for us. Mother Earth, you're giving us life. With God's open hand, you always provide for us. Maker of it all, provide it all. In you we live, in you we move, in you we have our being. You're glorious, you're haunting us together, all together. You are everything good, you are everything beautiful, you are everything, you're everything, you are everything good, you are everything beautiful, you are everything, you're everything, you are everything good, you are everything beautiful, you are everything, you're everything, you are everything good, you are everything beautiful, you are everything, you're everything, you are everything good, you are everything beautiful, you are everything, you're everything, you are everything good, you are everything beautiful, you are everything, you're everything, you
Well, hey, RAA, it is bittersweet. This is actually our last campus ministries team chapel. Now, not our last chapel, but this is our last campus ministries team run chapel of the year. Next week, chapel will be run by your seniors. You don't want to miss it. I know the seniors have some really special things for you set up for next week, but as far as our campus ministries team, it's been a pleasure serving you this year. Even coming on quarantine, we have continued to serve you, and it's been really our pleasure. Griff, haven't you loved the campus ministries team this year?
Oh, I've always been impressed what the team has put together, but this year, especially given the circumstance, it's just kind of astounding. The music and how everything's managed to stay organized and get up there. I mean, there's been a technical hiccup here or there, but really, considering actually we've had less technical hiccups than we usually do in the actual chapel. So
that's quite true. Quite true. And a big, huge thank you to all the campus ministries team, not only those that have been voted into office, but several others who have done a lot of work from us, like our campus ministry secretary and many, many others. A lot of positions are still open for office, so get out there and run for office. You know what, Griff? We have some music this week we're going to be starting off with. And this week, I believe Shawnee and Emma are directing our music for this week. So big thank you to Shawnee and Emma. And take it away, praise team.
I will live for the moment where I'm still in your presence. All noise dies down. Lord, speak to me now. You have all my attention. I will linger and listen. restore my faith and hope again. And all I did was praise. All I did was worship. All I did was bow down. No, all I did was stay still.
just wanna be where you are, and I just wanna be near your heart. There is nothing like your love, Jesus. There is nothing like your love. Just wanna be where you are, and I just wanna be near your heart. There is nothing like your love, Jesus. There is nothing like your love, and I just wanna be where you are. I just wanna be near your heart. There is nothing like your love, Jesus. There is nothing like your love. Jesus, I love you. Jesus, I love you. Jesus, I love you. Jesus, I love you. Holy, holy, singing holy, holy. You are holy, holy. Jesus, I love you. Jesus, I love you.
The longer we've been on it, the more I'm falling in love with this praise music. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes on Sabbath, I go back and watch a previous chapel or a previous week of prayer. I've watched those week of prayers like 3 or 4 times each.
Oh,
I've really
yeah.
been enjoying this praise music.
I've been hopping on that Monday song service. I start my morning off with Nick
Yep,
singing it up. I sent a picture the other day to my family group. I was like, getting my praise on with Nick in the morning.
That's right. You know what I always say? If we don't praise him, the rocks are going to cry out glory and honor. So I love to praise the Lord. Up next, we have coming to you scripture and prayer. Our scripture will be brought to us this week by Grace, and our prayer is going to be brought to us by Sophia.
Hi guys. The verse that I wanted to share with you today is Galatians 6:2, and it says, "Bear one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ." This verse kind of speaks to me because personally, I haven't really talked to anyone outside of class, obviously, and this kind of reminds me that like we're supposed to care for each other. So it kind of reminds me to like keep in touch with people and check up on my friends. So yeah.
Please bow your heads for prayer with me. Dear God, thank you so much for letting us be able to make it this far in the school year, and please help us all on our exams next week. Please help the speaker's words to touch those who need it and for us all to receive a message from it. Thank you so much, God, for everything that you've given us, and please help us through this time. Amen.
Well, we got another nature corner coming up.
Oh, the gangs have answered the call, and we shall see. Are they going to be victorious, or is it going to be one of our other contestants? Over the past 5 or 6 weeks, we've seen a lot of great nature corners, so let's see what the gangs can do.
Brayden, I can't wait to go to Beach Vespers. It's my first time, the end of the year. I'm just so excited.
We need some sunblock. I checked the UV lights. It's like 20 out here.
20?
It's frying us. So we better
No.
put that on right now.
Did you get the ketchup?
No? I thought you were supposed to do that.
No, I got the mayo.
Oh, well, I guess it's gonna have mayo on them.
Ew, do not eat that.
5-second rule.
That's
I mean,
disgusting.
it's fine.
No. Ew.
I can't do this.
Yeah, you can. Just put it on. Your hair is too big.
Shut up, McKenna. I can't handle this. Alright, now now that we have our goggles on, now we can go swimming in the bioluminescence waves.
This little plant is growing. It can grow in any condition, and it's 99 degrees right now. Hags, Brayden, really?
Alright guys, thanks for watching our nature walk with the gangs. We hope you guys enjoyed, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Bye.
That was unbelievable.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Wow. Surprising. Didn't see that coming. Did you?
No, I
No.
never do. It's
No,
every week.
yeah.
Gets me every week.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. Well, thank you so much, gangs. And you know what, Griff? We've conferred off screen, and we do have a winner. Drum roll, please. The winner is. All right, and bringing us the good word one last time is one of my good buddies. And this young man, he really has a heart for the Lord. I like to tell him that he's a thinker, because he is. He puts a lot of thought into his life. He puts a lot of thought into his ministry. And we're so thankful to be able to hear from my good buddy, James. Take it away, James.
Oh. Hey, Redlands. It's your Dove Award winner, James Boyd here. Back for another sermon. Glad to see you guys here. You may be wondering, what am I going to talk about today? What am I speaking about? And, you know, that's a really good question. When I left the house about 30 minutes ago, I didn't know what I was going to talk about either. It's a Thursday evening. It's getting close to evening at least. And yes, that is correct. That is the day before chapel. So I am already very late to doing this. But I'm not just outing myself. I have a reason to be talking about this. So when I left the house and I didn't know what I was talking about, I was like, man, I hope something comes to me. I'm just gonna give it up to God. I'm gonna let His words flow through me, and hopefully something good's gonna come out of it. I guess you could say it was a YOLO moment, but I would say it's a giving it up to God moment. And then I realized I should just talk about giving it up to God. It's like I knew all along. It's like procrastination was my plan. So yeah, giving it up to God. That's an awesome thing to talk about. So yeah, let's get into it. So giving it up to God. That's pretty terrifying, right? Like, you're just gonna give up control, like, of your own life and just say whatever happens, happens. Like, that doesn't seem like the best idea, just on paper. And you know, it's a really scary thing. That's even a really scary thing for me. I've had a couple instances where I've done that, and I want to talk about some of them. So at Bible camp this year, I was a camp counselor with Shawnee Q. Shout out to her. And so yeah, it was like one of the later nights, and I was really scared. So a little backstory: I'd been preparing like all the things I was gonna say, all the questions I was gonna ask my group, because I was a group leader along with Shawnee. And you know, as group leaders, you're expected to be kind of organized, be kind of ready for whatever. And you know, so I wanted to be a good group leader. I wanted to have good conversations and get the best out of my group. So I tried to do what I do best and make a plan and regiment everything that I was going to do and say and how the conversation was going to move, because I'm a planner. I like to plan stuff. I like to know what's going on. So, I did that. I did that the first couple of nights with Shawnee, and, it was okay. It was all right. We did well, but, it wasn't anything stellar. It was just like, all right, that was a good sesh. That was chill. But, so one night, I didn't know what I was going to talk about. So usually we have this kind of paper that they give us that has a lot of ideas we could go off of, and we could kind of expand on that if we want. But the paper for this session, I just didn't like any of it. I cut it all out because I didn't think it would go well with my group. And so I thought long and hard about how I would fill time, or just how I would be a good group leader in this scenario. So, I was actually listening to one of the sermons while trying to plan this, and I was freaking out. I was literally hyperventilating because I just couldn't decide on what to do, and it was scaring me so much. I did not want to fail in front of all my peers. That seemed just like a terrible thing to happen. And it was towards the end of the sermon where I realized that I was not prepared for what I was going into and what I was about to lead out in, and I needed help. So I did the only thing I could think of, which was just asking God for help and just saying, hey, if I would like some help in this, and if you could just help your words speak through mine, and I will just give up control, and I will trust you 100%. And I did that, and I definitely felt peace wash over me. But then I was like, wait, am I really gonna do this? Am I really just gonna say, oh, it's gonna be fine, it's fine? I mean, I say that a lot, but I try not to if I can help it. And I wanted to be in control. I wanted to help it. I wanted to stop that from happening. But I realized I almost went back when I was like, wait, no. This is in God's hands right now. And I just need to give it control and just roll with the punches and trust that it's going to be okay. So we did the group session. We walked up, and I had a couple questions that I was going to ask, but I only expected that to take 5 or 6 minutes or so. So I started out by asking those questions, and I just let it flow on from there. And it was honestly one of the best group sessions that we had all of Bible camp. The conversation it came smoother, it was deeper. Not that deeper conversation equals better. It's just, I thought there was meaningful experiences coming out of what we were talking about. And that's what I was hoping to get as a group leader. I was hoping to kind of kindle that and make it happen. So yeah, we had a lot of great conversation as a group. We grew a lot that night, and it was honestly just like a whoa moment. Wow, that really just worked perfectly. That was the best session that we've had all of Bible camp, and that was the one I tried the least for, but it was also the one I gave God the most lenience in. I gave God the most space to move around, and that turned out to be the best scenario for what the situation was. And that's really stuck with me. It's been really hard to do that, obviously, to just let go of control. But I look back on that moment a lot and think, wow, something was definitely going on there, and I really want to learn from that. So I've been trying to maybe just add more space, in my life and in my plans, and just say that, if God, you want something to happen this way or that way, I'm going to let it happen. I'm going to be okay with it. Another instance for me is choosing colleges, honestly. That's a really scary thing. Colleges are terrifying. It's you're choosing your future at the age of 17 or 18. And that just doesn't seem like a great idea. Because I don't know, you still have a lot to grow when you're 17 and 18. So, yeah, but you still have to make that decision. So, like many of you watching, you will or already have faced that problem. And you know that there's a lot of thought that goes into it, and there's a lot of pressure. So for me, I had a lot of different colleges that I wanted to go to. I had like a list of like literally like 20. My dad made like a whole spreadsheet of colleges that I'd like to go to, and he put different factors of what would be good about a college or bad about a college. And he put it all in to a spreadsheet. Ooh. That was scary. So what were we talking about again? My phone fell. It was a tragic moment, but luckily I realized that. So we're back at a different location. So yeah, colleges, spreadsheets. I had a lot of colleges that I thought about going to. And I had a lot of choices in my head about where I should go. And obviously I didn't want to make the wrong decision. So, you know, I thought long and hard about it, but I realized that if I just need to give it up to God, and it'll be fine. You know, like I wanted to be in control and choose where I was gonna go, and obviously I'm still doing that. I'm gonna choose where I want to go, but I realized that no matter where I end up, you know, God will still be in my life, and it'll still be fine. I don't need to stress so much over it because, you know, God's got this. Give it up to God. Thanks, God. But yeah, colleges, it'll be fine. It's fine. We got this. So yeah, thank you, Redlands Adventist Academy, for coming out to my to my last sermon. I'm sure that's the only reason you came out. Yeah, I'm gonna graduate soon. That's exciting, isn't it? I'm gonna miss you guys. Don't forget me. I guess I'll be signing off. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I love you guys. Thanks.
Thank you, James. Just, you know, he started off our quarantine talks, our student talks, and, you know, finishing out at least the campus ministry portion, you know, really well. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, James, for sharing that with us.
All right, and we have one last thing for you today. You know, this is our last campus ministry chapel, and the end of any year, any school year brings a lot of changes. You know, the seniors are heading out. Next week, we're celebrating them, but also we have some staff who are retiring at the end of this year. And so we just had a little conversation with them. We'd like to show you just to help honor them, and just listen to this. Greetings, everyone. This is Locker Talk with your RAA staff, and I'm the Griff.
I'm the Sandy, and we're here with three of our RAA legends. I'm talking legends. You have James Walters, Jan Rice, and Christine Dudley here. Thank you all for coming on the show this week.
Glad to be here.
Yep, glad to be here.
Well, we want to start you off with some easy questions. Just, you know, we don't want to stump the teachers, so we're going to give you a question. We know this might be harder for some of you than others, but how many years have you been teaching at RAA?
I've been there since 1985, so you can do the math.
Someone put that in the chat. One of you kids put that in the chat. How many years is that? Do we need age? Wait, we got a math teacher in here. Griff, how many years is that?
It's longer than I've been alive by 2 years.
Well, I joined in 1987.
And I came in 1991.
Okay, so these are some of our real deal original teachers. Now, tell me, I know, Chris, I know you, Mrs. Dudley, I know you've been at a different school, but I'm not so sure about the rest of you. So all three of you, is this your first teaching job? Did you teach your whole career, or have you taught at several other academies, or where else have you taught?
I started teaching at La Sierra University, and then La Sierra Academy, and then Sierra View Junior Academy. So I've taught for 45 years in all now.
Goodness gracious. Wow.
Awesome.
I started off at San Diego Academy. I went there straight from college, and I was there for 17 years, and now 29 years at Redlands.
Woo! Wow.
I taught 6 years at Fairview Junior Academy and then came over to Redlands in 87. So 39.
Wow. So all of you have taught at various different academies, and towards the end of your career, you wind up here for a number of years at RAA. I'm still looking at you guys in the chat for someone to give me those actual numbers. You guys know me in math. I'm not adding that up. Somebody carry the one.
Now, you've been here, and as we all know, I mean, Lamar and I, our parents worked at Loma Linda, so we've seen other schools. So this is Redlands. So what is the most, interesting memory or craziest thing that you've seen at this particular institution?
My best memories are simply the DC trip and anything to do with handbells. And I'm looking forward to doing more with handbells once this COVID-19 stuff is all over with. So I'll
glad to hear it.
Again soon.
That's what I was going to ask you, James. Did anyone try to walk off with any of the bells over the years? Just walk out with the room. You have to give me those bells back.
Yeah, not yet.
Oh boy, planting ideas, Lamar.
Well, you know what? Don't do it. Those bells that's probably grand theft. Those are very expensive. I know that to be true. Mrs. Dudley, how about you? Any memory or anything crazy that you can remember here at RAA?
I love the DC trip. I also did 6 or 7 Europe trips in the summer with students. The last one was 2009. I just love that stuff. But you know what? I just like the seasonal kinds of things, like beach vespers I really like. And I love beach vespers at the end of the year, which I'm so sad we're missing, where we do the big potluck with our students.
I feel like we can meet up during the summer and go down to the beach and just get that event in.
Hey, the beach is open right now. We can go. It's not school.
Oh, the non RAA beach vespers.
Don't worry, Larry. It's not official. It's fine. Family groups are only 15. That's probably under the limit. It's fine.
That's right. How about you, Mrs. Rice? What is it? Something sporty? What can you remember? The favorite memory over here at RAA?
Well, I did get to go on the very first Washington, D.C. trip that Doug Williber planned in 87. That was very enjoyable, educational. I remember all of our music tours that I've joined, football tournaments, forget any of those. Class trips, whether or not we went to Havasu or Lake Powell or Catalina, Oceanside. It's been quite an experience, and just having a smaller group like we have at RAA is the special part. You get to know the kids on a personal level, and doing these little trips, it's just much more fun.
I love those trips. I can remember doing many trips with you, and some of my favorite memories are on those trips as well. I remember one time, this is when I first, around the first few years being at RAA, and James was conducting in the bells, and this man walked off. He just walked off. He was gone, and they kept playing. It was during a concert. I was like, what is happening? I would not expect that. I did not see that coming. He just walked off, and the kids kept playing right on the tune. It was fantastic. I've never seen anything like it.
See, they don't need me.
I don't know about that. I think in order to be able to do that, it took a number of hours of practice with you there to be able to do that. So yeah, some of the pranks they pulled. I remember with Mr. Walters and Mr. Bello, they would go with the clothesline and try to clip it to their tuxedo during the concerts, and try to see if Mr. Walters or Mr. Bello would walk up on stage with it clipped onto the back of their tuxedo. I know Mrs. Dudley, the kids always come into my room raving about, and maybe this is a secret, I'm not supposed to know, but there's the senior food in there. And so I know.
Not a secret. Not a secret.
Well, good. And of course, all the football tournaments and all the sports trips that we've done. I know the kids are going to be missing all of you on all the trips that you've taken us on and you've done over the years. And
so will the staff. I know I've come to each of you for things in my couple of years I've been here. Like each of you have been like, I need help with this because I don't know what's going on. So we're all going to miss you.
What's one thing, now that you're headed off into retirement, what's one of your bucket list things that you know for a fact, I'm gonna do this during this season of my life. I'm gonna make sure I do this. What's a bucket list retirement item?
Well, for me, my retirement was going to be in another year, and I was going to do a road trip where I went to see some of my other retired friends. That will not be happening this summer, but eventually I hope it'll happen.
Okay, as long as that's not on a motorcycle, I can support that message.
No motorcycle.
Then a giant RV. Let's do that.
Oh,
okay.
I see RV, and I'll stay in hotels. It'll be a bit of a pansy kind of trip.
That's the way to do it. How about you, Mrs. Rice? One thing you want to check off that bucket list?
Well, traveling would be one of them. Then spending quality time with family. Very important.
And how about you, Mr. Walters? What's one thing? I feel like it should have to do with music, but don't feel like it has to do with music.
Oh, you know it has to do with music. Well, until I can get back and we restart the handbell program, I've got this book I've been working on, History of Handbell Ringing. So I'm going to have a few months now to really concentrate on that. Plus the church job I still have. So I got plenty to do.
Here's another one. I'll take this next one, and Will, you can give them the last one. What's one surprising fact about you? And we're going to start with Mrs. Rice. What's one surprising fact about you that most people, maybe many students, wouldn't even know, even though you've been here a long time? What's one surprising fact about yourself that you could share?
I forget the year that it happened, early 80s, that we had a 8th grade boy, Victor, coming out of the trailer that got attacked by a Redlands High School young man. Not totally sure exactly why, but I think it had something to do with a girl.
Oh boy.
And I basically jumped the Redlands High School guy, had him around the throat, and shook him until he let go of Victor and threw him against the wall, and calling the students going, "Go get somebody, I need help." Don't know how many of the kids know that particular story. So.
Yeah, I've heard that. You told me that one, and I've wanted to have that strength ever since. I'm pretty sure you had some sort of angelic strength there to be able to pull him off and pin him against the wall until you could get some more help over there. But yeah, Mrs. Rice, she's a tough one, kids. Don't try to steal any of those basketballs. Let me tell you that right now. Well, how about you, Mr. Walters? What's one surprising thing about you that maybe some of the students or staff maybe didn't even know about you?
I don't know if there's anything really. Let's see. When I was in high school, I played in a rock and roll band and kept on getting in trouble because my hair was so long.
You were in a rock band? Stop it. Are you serious?
Serious.
What was your instrument?
Bass guitar, piano.
That's awesome. I did not know that. That is surprising.
And then I got to college to major in music, and I didn't know how to read music because I just played rock and roll before that.
Well, kids, see, you can get to anywhere. You just have the dream. You can get to anywhere. And look at him now. All right, Mrs. Dudley, you're gonna wrap it up on this question. What's something surprising?
You know, I tell everything, so I don't know if much would surprise the kids. When I taught at San Diego Academy, I had a podium up front, and I used to lean on it. and even rock it a little bit. And once I kind of flipped over it, and the students didn't laugh. They all sat there in shock. And another one that, this is when I was in San Diego also. I used to take students to, guess what, Washington, D.C. and New York. And someone told me of a place we should go eat. When we got there, there was a show. And the show looked kind of different, but I couldn't figure out what it was. And I guess all of the people performing were male cross-dressers. They were doing show tunes. I should have known something. The kids knew way before me. I just kept thinking, there's something off about this.
Perfect for an Adventist field trip. Perfect.
And I thought the kids would rush home and tell their parents. It was either 87 or 88. I'm not sure which year. But if the parents knew, nobody ever came after me.
Oh, that's awesome.
So one last kind of hard-hitting question here. What has been your hardest challenge in education?
I don't know how to answer that question. Every day is something new, and it's usually something fun.
Ooh, nothing challenges the Walter. Okay, Walter's he takes it all in stride.
I don't have one either.
Well, then along those lines, this being Redlands, what is the thing you're most proud of that you had to pull out of nothing to make happen? We've all had to do that.
Well, depending on what you mean by the question. We had no handbell program when I started. We started with 3 octaves of bells. It's come a long ways, and I'm really proud of our students in that program.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
It's the best, even above and beyond some colleges.
Well, why don't we wrap it up with this one? Whenever we come to the end of any kind of great ride, it always feels absolutely too soon. No matter how long, and I know that each of you has been at this game a long time, but it probably feels in the moment too soon, and it feels that way for us too, and I know it feels that way for the student body. If there's one message or one lesson that you could have be resounding in the hearts and minds of our students, what would that one message be?
Hold Jesus close and have your relationship with him and let him lead you. You need to be able to listen to what he says.
I want my students to find every opportunity they can to do good.
At Redlands, we are better together, and I'm looking forward to the day when we are together again.
Amen.
Amen to that. Well, thank you so much, my friends, for being part of this unusual locker talk over here with the Griff and Sandy. Thank you for letting us get a little bit personal with you. Thank you for sharing your time with us. And mostly, may God bless you and bless you more still.
Hi, Mr. Walters. I just wanted to say thank you so much for your many years of dedication to teaching the students at RAA. It was always so obvious that you cared about all of your students and that you always taught in our best interests and constantly pushed us to do better in music and in education. You not only taught us how to be better students, but gave us so much knowledge that you knew would help us when we left high school and entered the real world, which is where I am right now. I still find myself using so many things that you taught me. You positively impacted my experience at RAA ever since I was in 5th grade when I joined handbells. And the support you gave me got me through so many bumps along the road. I have countless memories of sharing old rock music with you in the classroom, and I will cherish those memories for the rest of my life. Thank you for everything.
Hey, Mr. Walters, before I start, I just want to say congratulations and thank you so much for everything you have done for RAA, whether it's music, bells, teaching, and whatnot. Thank you so much. So I just want to say some of my favorite memories and moments I had with you. Some of them would come from TA periods. I had a blast working under you, and I had learned so much, so thank you. Next would be family groups. Family groups was always fun. I had a great time relaxing and talking to some people, and you always made it so engaging for us. And Walter fam will always be the best fan because of you. And next would be bells. Honestly, bells would always be my favorite part every day. Even though it'd be a pain to wake up every morning and get out of bed, I still enjoyed every moment. I enjoyed every moment playing bells and playing music under you. And last but not least would be the door of opportunity. Your classes will never cease to have new ideas, lessons, and fun for us. And I learned a lot from you, so thank you. So once again, all the best for your retirement, and we'll miss you and we love you a lot, and thank you.
Hey, Mr. Walters, I just wanted to say that you were one of my favorite teachers throughout the 4 years I was at REA, and it was such a blessing learning so many subjects from you. And honestly, being your TA was one of the funnest things for me at REA, especially junior year. It's what made it so special to me and probably one of my favorite years. I just wanted to say thank you for all the memories and have a good life.
Hi, my name is Mariella. I'm a senior and I'm going to be sharing what's the biggest lesson that Mr. Walters taught me. And it is what a great teacher looks like. He's not just somebody that is passionate about what he teaches, but he's also very knowledgeable and he takes his time to really get to know his students, which is something that really helped me to inspire me actually to be more responsible and just work extra hard, especially in his class, feeling that he was not just my teacher, but he was somebody that really cared for my grades, and if I needed help with something, I could count on him. He's super respectful with everyone, and I feel like that's what kind of like makes you want to reflect his attitude towards you back, if that makes sense. But anyways, I'm sad that he's leaving, but I cannot be more grateful for having had the opportunity to meet him. So just wish you the best, Mr. Walters.
Hi, Mr. Walters. Thank you for being an amazing history teacher and a Bell director. Your passion for teaching is something I truly strive for as a future educator. You've not only been an amazing teacher, but also an amazing supporter. You supported me and encouraged me to do my very best. It was such a pleasure to have been one of your students. On top of history and bells, thank you for also teaching me how to be a great leader. RAA will truly miss you, but I wish you nothing but the best in the years ahead. Thank you so much. Peace.
Hi, Mrs. Dudley. I just wanted to say thank you for everything. I had a lot of fun in your class, just chatting and reading Hamlet and the Metamorphosis. But yeah, I will really miss you.
Hi, Mrs. Dudley. You are an amazing teacher. I really do not enjoy English very much, and you somehow managed to get me to be interested in literature and to enjoy class discussions about literature. You are so relatable and funny in class. I think my favorite memories with you include the morning time, because a lot of us have to get there early because of our parents or bells, and you always open up your classroom for us, especially in the winter when it is so cold. We can always count on Miss Dudley to give us hot chocolate and open up her room in the morning. I don't know what we're gonna do next year without that, because I know so many of us rely on that. And in those mornings, I've had some great talks with you, and I'm just gonna miss those so much. I don't know if any other teacher can get me to like English as much as you did. We love you so much, and we're gonna miss you.
Hey, Mrs. Dudley. So, I'm actually pretty devastated that you are retiring. Because for one, you are one of my favorite teachers, obviously. And for two, I've always been pretty nervous to share my art, whether it was written or visual. And I've always known that no matter how horrible I thought a piece was, I could show it to you, and you would give me some big bright smile and some wise words, and everything would be okay. So, yeah, love you, Mrs. Dudley. I'm gonna miss you a lot.
Mrs. Dudley, thank you so much for being such an amazing teacher. I remember meeting you for the first time in 8th grade on Step It Up Day, and you told me all about freshman English, and I was so excited to be in your English class. I already knew that you were going to be like the best teacher ever. Your classes have always been so much fun for me, and you've always encouraged me to be creative and to keep writing. Thank you for giving me such great books to read, even if they always make me cry, and thank you for just supporting me. I loved being your TA. Just being able to talk to you during class or after class has always been the best parts of my day, and really having you as a teacher made high school so much better. So thank you again. I love you and I miss you.
Hi, Mrs. Rice. I hope you're doing well. Congratulations on your retirement, and we're sad to see you go, but you definitely deserve retirement. Thank you for all of the hard work and the support that you've given Redlands throughout the years with sports and also being with us on music tour. I'll always just remember you at all of our tournaments and all of the hard work and the planning and everything that you put into it. Thank you so much for everything.
Mrs. Rice, I can't imagine my high school experience without you. You have been a role model to me for all of high school, and from football tournaments and all of the different sports and games that you've set up, to teaching PE classes, and to just being someone that I could always turn to and ask any kind of question or ask for help. You have helped our school in so many ways, and we were so lucky to have you. Thank you so much for everything that you have done for us over the years and made our school the community and the family that it is. We wouldn't be where we are without you.
Dear Miss Rice, I just wanted to start off by thanking you for being there for me. Being there for all the times that I made big problems out of small things, and you were just there to tell me it's not that serious. I thank you for everything you've done for me. I wish you nothing but the very best in your retirement. No one can ever say goodbye to you, really, because you'll always forever be in our hearts. Happy retirement, Miss Rice.
A big thank you to Mr. Walters. Big thank you to Mrs. Dudley, and a big thank you to Mrs. Rice. You are definitely in our hearts. You are our hearts. And we are sad to see you go, but we're so happy for you. Congratulations. We hope that you enjoy your retirement.
That was awesome, seeing all those kids. And you know what? I know all of you also want your voices heard. So if you would like to record something for any of these teachers who are retiring and submit it,
send it over to my email address, lsandiford@redlandsacademy.org. And that's lsandiford@redlandsacademy.org. I know I'll probably get a bunch of emails because these teachers are loved, but go ahead and send them over to me and I'll get them to the right place. We're going to be looking to post them on our school's YouTube channel. We're going to be looking to post them on our social media accounts, on our various social media accounts. So if you want to share a message or a memory with one of these teachers that we all love, go ahead and send them over to me at lsandiford, that's lsandiford @redlandsacademy.org. And this is for current students, for alumni, teachers, and staff. Feel free to send over a good word, and we'll try to compile these together and get them into appropriate place. Thank you so much. This has been a blessing having you all, serving you all this year. On behalf of Nick, our religious vice president, on behalf of the Griff, I'm Lamar Sandiford. Thank you so much. May God bless you and keep you until we see each other again, my friends.
Goodbye.